In the spotlight-filled entertainment world, an idol's every move is often the subject of public scrutiny. The same is true for the two BTS members, beloved by fans worldwide, Jimin and Jungkook. The two are known for their close relationship, filled with warmth, jokes, and support for one another. But one day, something unexpected happened while they were spending time together, a simple moment that left a lasting impression on many who witnessed it. The day actually started out like any other for the BTS members. Practice schedules, recording sessions, and preparations for their next project kept them all quite busy. Jimin and Jungkook, often seen together in the practice room, decided to practice longer than the others. They wanted to ensure the choreography they were learning was perfect. In the spacious practice room, music played on repeat. Jungkook stood in front of a large mirror, trying to perfect his hand movements, while Jimin watched from the side with a serious, yet enthusiastic expression. Despite having practiced for hours, the two still looked energetic. Occasionally, they laughed when one of them performed a movement out of sync. "Try again," Jimin said with a smile, catching his breath. Jungkook nodded, and the music resumed. This time, their movements were much more fluid. Each step seemed light yet precise. When the music stopped, the two looked at each other and laughed in satisfaction. But something unexpected happened a few moments later. As they rested on the floor of the practice room, the lights suddenly went out. The previously bright room plunged into darkness. Jungkook was startled, while Jimin chuckled. "I think the power went out," Jungkook said, looking around. They thought it was just the lights in that room that were out, but the entire floor of the building was dark. Several staff members could be heard walking in the corridors, trying to figure out what was happening. Instead of panicking or getting upset, Jimin and Jungkook took advantage of the situation in an unexpected way. Jungkook took out his phone and turned on the flashlight. The small beam illuminated part of the room. "It's like a mini concert," Jungkook joked. Jimin immediately stood up and began dancing dramatically under the flashlight, making Jungkook laugh out loud. His movements were deliberately exaggerated, like a theatrical performance. The atmosphere, initially quiet due to the power outage, turned into a roar of laughter. Jungkook didn't stop there, standing up and singing in a deliberately exaggerated operatic style. Jimin pretended to be a deeply impressed audience member, clapping enthusiastically. Unbeknownst to them, several staff members outside the room began recording the moment. They watched the two world-famous idols act like ordinary friends, joking around carefree. The moment became even more hilarious when Jungkook tried to make hand shadows on the wall using the flashlight. He formed various shapes like birds and dogs, while Jimin tried to guess what he was making. "This one's a rabbit," Jimin said confidently. Jungkook shook his head, laughing. "That's a dinosaur." The simple conversation felt incredibly warm. Despite their busy schedules as global artists, it was clear that their relationship remained that of two friends enjoying the little things together. A few minutes later, the power finally came back on. The lights returned to the room, and the voices of the staff in the corridor could be heard again. But Jimin and Jungkook were still sitting on the floor, still laughing over the little game they had just played. "It's funny," Jimin said with a smile. Jungkook nodded. Sometimes the unplanned things are the most fun. The day then continued as usual. They returned to practice and continued with their scheduled activities. But the brief moment of power outage didn't stop there. The video recorded by the staff was eventually shared with the documentation team. A few weeks later, the clip appeared in a behind-the-scenes video released for fans. Many fans were surprised and moved by Jimin and Jungkook's spontaneous side, not only because of their playful antics, but also because of the warmth of their genuine friendship. Comments flooded the video. Many said the moment showed how they remained true to themselves despite the pressures of the entertainment industry. Others said their interaction felt very natural, like two friends who had known each other for a long time. There was nothing artificial or forced. This unexpected event left a simple yet powerful message. Sometimes happiness doesn't come from big things or perfect plans, but from small, spontaneous moments. For Jimin and Jungkook, the power outage may have been just a minor interruption in their practice schedule. But for fans, It served as a reminder that behind the grand stages and big concerts, they were still two people enjoying simple company. Over time, the story of the incident has been frequently recounted by fans. Some even consider it one of the most heartwarming moments ever seen between the two idols. What made it special wasn't the situation, but how they responded to it. Instead of complaining or waiting in boredom, they chose to laugh and create small memories together. Such camaraderie isn't always easy to find, especially in a competitive environment. But Jimin and Jungkook demonstrated that support and closeness can grow even amidst immense pressure. When they finally left the practice room that night, the two were still talking about the power outage. They occasionally laughed again as they remembered the shadow puppets and the flashlight concert they had created. Perhaps to others, it was just a small, insignificant incident. But for them, it was one of many simple moments that strengthened their bond of friendship. And for the fans who witnessed the story, it served as proof that sometimes the most memorable things come from completely unplanned events. Since then, whenever Jimin and Jungkook are seen joking around together, many fans are reminded of that moment when the lights went out in the practice room. A simple moment that shows that even amidst busy schedules and the spotlight, two friends can still find happiness in the little things. The unexpected often comes without warning, but when lived with laughter and togetherness, those moments can turn into memories that will last a long time.